Good evening, everyone. My name is Samuel El Clemente. I will present the topic about gene engineering and production of transgenic fish. First, we will talk all about the genetic engineering, which is genetic engineering is a process that alters the genetic structure of an organism by either removing or introducing DNA or modifying existing genetical material in situ. Unlike traditional animal and plant breeding, which involves during multiple crosses and then selecting for the organism with the desired phenotype, genetic engineering takes the gene directly from one organism and delivers it to the other. So this is much faster, can be used to insert any genes from any organism, and prevents other undesirable genes from also being added. About transgenesis involves genomic alteration of an organism through insertion, modification of or deletion of a gene with the objective of modifying characteristics of interest. In these manners, new stable and genetically determined characteristic can be incorporated into the genome of the receptor organism and possibly transmitted to the generation or next generation. Transgenic fish is one which carries one or more foreign gene. The foreign genes are selectively incorporated by microinjection into the egg with a view to produce transgenic fish lines carrying such a foreign gene. About microinjection, we will tackle that later. It is one of the process or one of the techniques that we will use in transgenic fish. So next is more than dozen transgenic fishes were produced by 1980s. So some example includes transgenic Atlantic salmon and transgenic food fishes, trout, tilapia, eat fishes, and etc. Now, this is the techniques of gene transfer. We have four techniques. First is microinjection, electroporation, spermidate gene transfer, retrieval infection. Microinjection, the most common method of gene transfer. Soon after fertilization, the gene is microinjected into cytoplasm since the egg nucleus is not visible in the fishes. And linearized DNA rather than circular DNA is injected for the greater probability of the former to get integrated into the host genome. Higher amount of DNA is used for cytoplasmic gene transfer than when it is injected to the pronucleus. Some species has softer chorion such as catfish and zebrafish. So dili tanan nga fish can do microinjection. Small volume of the solution, 1 to 2 ml of DNA containing than 107 copies should be injected. The rate of survival and integration of the transgene after microinjection varies widely in different species of fish and in different batches of the same species. So, microinjection is the common method, which is mao na siya ang pinaka murag mao na siya ang pinaka common lang gid siya. Mao na siya murag pinaka effective nga magamit sa transgenic. So next is electroporation. It utilizes a series of short electrical pulses to make the membrane porous and permeable to DNA incorporation. Embryos and sperms can be electroporated. It is less labor intensive and does not require special expertise for gene transfer as needed in the case of microinjection. It is easier to do It is easier to do this in spermatozoa than in embryos, which possess two chorion. The gene transfer efficiency and integration rate do not differ much between electroporation and microinjection method. In zebrafish, 0.1 mile second pulses of 125 cm for batches of 200 eggs. And next, sperm-mediated gene transfer is a transgenic technique that transfers genes based on the ability of sperm cells to spontaneously bind to exogenous DNA and transport it into the oocyte during fertilization to produce genetically modified animals. Exogenous DNA refers to DNA that originates outside of the organism. SMGT have low efficiency, and it is mainly due to low uptake of exogenous DNA by the spermatozoa. So the picture below nagpakita nga unsa ang process unsay process aning sperm mediated gene transfer. Next, the last techniques, retroviral infection. Although transgenic techniques have been adopted successfully by microinjection and the electroporation techniques with greater efficiency, mosaicism is the major concern in resulting individuals. Therefore, a retroviral vector such as long-terminal repeat LTR sequences of molyneurin leukemia virus or MOMLV and pantropic retrieval vector has been developed for improving efficiency of integration of the gene because of its higher efficiency. It has been used to produce transgenic organisms including fishes. Regrettably, these viral vectors are inclined to unstable expression or even complete silencing of transgene expression, and integration rates may be increased because of active infection. So now we're done to the techniques, and next is the following the important points needed for genetic engineering or gene transfer to produce transgenic fish. First, a gene sequence is to isolate for the particular characteristic, for example, growth hormone gene. Second, this gene or gene sequence are then inserted into a circular DNA known as plasmid vector, or enzymes endonucleases and ligases are used. Third, plasmid are harvested in the bacteria to produce billions of copies. Fourth, plasmids are introduced into linear DNA. Fifth, making the cassette a permanent part of fish genetic makeup. So that is the important points, 5 important points needed for genetic engineering. Now, I have an example of transgenic fish. So this is transgenic salmon. The Atlantic salmon is engineered with a Pacific salmon growth hormone driven by the Arctic antifreeze promoter gene. The rapid growth of the transgenic salmon is achieved not so much by transgenic growth hormone as by the not so much by the transgenic growth hormone as by the antifreeze gene promoter that functions in the cool water, desirable for salmon flavor. Devlin, in 1994, research scientist with Fisheries and Oceans, Canada, in West Vancouver, British Columbia, has modified the growth hormone gene in coho salmon by developing a gene construct in which all the genetic elements are derived from sockeye salmon. The transgenic coho grow on average 11 times faster than unmodified fish, and the largest fish grow 37 times faster. The growth hormone levels in the transgenic fish are high year-round rather than falling off in the winter as occur in ordinary salmon. Devlin in 2001, the modified salmon are large enough to be marketed after 1 year. In contrast to standard farm salmon that do not reach market size for at least 3 years. How they compare? So as we see to this presentation, the GM salmon has length of 24 inches with a weight of 6.6 lb compared to farm salmon that has length 13 inches only and with a weight of 2.8 lb. So both fish are 18 months. They have very large difference because of this genetic modified or transgenic fish. So now I will tackle about the advantage and disadvantage of this transgenic fish. First, the advantage or advantages: increase the growth rate, improve the disease resistance, and next is increase the muscle mass. Next, improve the nutritional value. Next is the advantage or advantages: inserted gene has multiple functions. Next, breeding problem. Next, sometimes leads to mutagenesis. Lastly, low of survival rate of transgenic animals. So now, examples of transgenic fish you can see and modify in this picture. We have the tilapia, carp, zebrafish, trout, and salmon. So that would be all. Thank you. I hope you have learned in this topic. Thank you.